as many of you know, it's always a great pleasure and honor to be able to be in service here in Jose Taylor's Cultural Center and in service to our community. And like I said earlier, some people were led to believe that we were here to celebrate me. And as I said earlier, I think I'm pretty special and worthy of being celebrated. But y'all know that's not really why we're here. So we are actually here today to I think we got you. One of the many things that he is known for, obviously, is his stamp collection, his coin collection, and we've got an itty bitty taste. If you have not had the privilege of seeing his massive collection, which is extremely impressive, I hope you have had an opportunity to do so. One of the other things that he is known for is the Arkansas Mentoring and Networking Association. With its STEM workforce reflective of Arkansas's population, AMNA's mission is to achieve equitable opportunities and achievement in STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math by increasing the pipeline of underrepresented minority STEM students in Arkansas. These guiding principles inform AMNA's three-pronged strategy to assist Arkansas STEM students in developing valuable academic and professional mentor relationships, train students in the art of networking, and place students in paid summer internships and research programs. Here's just a sample of some of the placements that have been made possible because of Mr. Ashley. Arkansas High School STEM students internships and research placements have been 62 at universities such as University of Michigan, Johns Hopkins University, the Jackson National Laboratory, Northwestern University, Ohio State University, Michigan State University. Arkansas undergraduate STEM student internship research placement, Stanford Linear Accelerator Center, the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, University of Connecticut, Harvard University, Duke University, Rice University, MIT, Yale University, and the list goes on and on. As we said, the working committee earlier, we were like, what do you call this? And we said, Mr. Ashley is truly a hidden treasure in our community, and that's how we view Mr. Ashley as being a hidden treasure. And even though I am special, I think you all decided that that was a true statement. I did not do this alone. I had help from some wonderful people. And if they don't mind standing or waving their arms, it would be wonderful for those who are able to attend today. Ms. Ada Hollingsworth, Ms. Lolita Montgomery, in her absence, State Representative Vivian Flowers. And in the news, you hear a lot about collusion, right? And normally it's bad when you think of collusion in Russia. But for this occasion, we had to collude with Wanda. So, little did you know, she has been smuggling pictures and everything to us for the last couple of weeks. So, thank you so much. Also, to make this possible, I reached out to a couple of people and said, hey, we need your help. We want to make sure this is really nice. We want to serve lunch. We really want to make him feel special. And I made a couple of phone calls. And the first person who immediately said yes was Beverly Morrow. And she said, I'll do it. And guess what she went so far to do? She said, I'll be the food sponsor. So she could not be here today, but she wanted you to know how much she appreciates you, how much she values your friendship and the relationship with the Morrow family. So if you know Beverly Morrow, you have the chance, tell her thank you. Another person I reached out to, this one was really easy. I reached out to the American Association of Blackson Energy, also known as ABE, to ask them if they would consider contributing towards this event. Now you would say, well, why would that be so so difficult or easy for me? Well, the president happens to be my husband, Scott Daniel Hamilton. So at this time, I ask him to join me on stage to give remarks on behalf of ABE.
Really, she did ask. And even if I were her husband, I absolutely would have said yes to this. You know, Mr. Ashley, when I first met you, when I moved back here to Little Rock, I was just dumbfounded and amazed in terms of your story, your history, what you do, what you've done individually as a person here. And just when Marty mentioned what was going to happen, I said, absolutely. Again, my name is Scott Hamilton, and I'm the local president of the American Association of Blackson Energy. If you know, I've been in the energy business all my life. And it's a wonderful industry. I had a great mentor. Didn't know anything about the energy business when I was a kid, other than my parents cussed all the time because they had to pay, the light bill and gas bill. But it's an industry that has really offered me some amazing opportunities, career-wise and education-wise, helped me to really kind of understand, how different things work, how important this industry is. I'll be brief. What the American Association of Blackson Energy does is to try to make sure that African Americans are engaged throughout that industry. Typically, it's been one that's underrepresented by our folks, and so it's an organization that looks at that. But the big part of what we do is STEM education. STEM education for our kids to make sure that they know, there's different industries out there that are available to them. So I'm just excited to be here today. Very excited about you being here, and you certainly deserve it. So again, thank you for what you've done, and we look forward to enjoying the day with you.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. Welcome. Up next, I'd like to ask Reverend Ed Swain of St. John Baptist Church to join us for the invocation.
Bow with me in a moment of prayer. All wise and mighty God, God who is so sublime, so compassionate toward the children of man. God is so kind and full of tender mercies. How honored we are this morning that you allowed us entry into your presence. We certainly want to give you thanks. For those of us who have traveled far and near to be here, we want to give thanks for each of the presence. Thank you for the magnanimous and august occasion to give credence to one who deserves our adoration. He's a man who showed love and compassion and concern. He's a goodly and godly man. We thank you for the gift you have given him, and we thank you for allowing him to be a part of our lives. We give thanksgiving, and we ask your blessings upon him. Continue to bless him among nations. And let us express our magnitude of gratitude to Mr. Alfonso Ashley for the work that he's done towards us. In the name of Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I remember when he received, I believe it was either the President's Award or one of the other awards at the King Kennedy dinner, and that was a big deal that he allowed himself to be acknowledged at that time. But I said, you know what? This is a great idea. When are we going to do it? And so we coordinated and said when Cecily was going to be in town, because she definitely wanted to be a portion of this. She definitely wanted to be able to in person say thank you, Mr. Ashley, for all that you have done and the impact that you've had on her life and career. And I know there are so many other students that feel the same way. So without further ado, to me, one of the most brilliant and beautiful women hailing out of North Little Rock, Arkansas, who currently works in California, who traveled here to be a part of this today. And so Cecily Montgomery, if you don't mind joining me on stage.
thank you, Marty. I'm not really sure if I could live up to that really fantastic intro you gave me, but I certainly will try. If I could, I'd really love to just start with a huge round of applause and a huge thank you to the committee for putting this event together. Without their help, as you know, it's time to get to the man of the hour. So I promise I will not keep you here long, but I really would love to just reflect over what experiences Mr. Ashley and AMNA have exposed me to and how that's played into my life currently. Like I said, I just want to share a little bit more about how AMNA specifically has allowed me to explore educational and career opportunities that I would not have ever imagined. So I remember meeting Mr. Ashley about 2007, so almost 2 years ago at this point. And I remember at the time I wanted to study international business, and me being me, I was just social, that was what I was going to do. And he said, have you ever considered STEM as a field? And I hadn't. And I was like, are you sure that I should kind of pursue this? It's not exactly what I sort of think I'm really interested in at this point in time. And then I remember my mom saying, oh, you're going to do this. So I said, sure enough, that summer, I did my first research internship as a part of Dr. Henry Tillman's cancer department at the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences, which was just such an amazing experience. I had the opportunity to sort of serve my community by preparing materials to perform public outreach about lesser known cancers such as colorectal cancer, again something I would have never considered. From there, I went to the Jackson Laboratory in Bar Harbor, Maine, and the person he had to convince for that was not me, it was my mother. Because she was extremely afraid to send me all the way to Maine. But sure enough, I went, and again, amazing experience. Had the opportunity to research a gene that was suspected in tumorigenesis. And again, just beyond my wildest imaginations. And then if that wasn't enough, the final research internship I did before I went on to college was in Baltimore at Johns Hopkins University. And so there got to do research in something called nanobiotechnology, trying to understand these very, very small atomic particles and little organisms that can help us better serve folks. And so I think, again, if it wasn't for Mr. Ashley and the AMNA, I'm not sure I would have had those opportunities. And not only that, but those opportunities were a bridge for me to successfully apply to Stanford University, something I tell everyone to this day that I don't think I could have done successfully without the work of him and his organization. And just to fast forward to now, as she mentioned, I work in California as a data scientist amongst 80 really brilliant master's students and PhDs, and I ask myself, how did I get here? And I, again, just know that it would not have been possible without him and the work of this organization. And what I just really want to close with is, as I sort of get older, I think I'm slowly learning that, it's not all about me, right? So to this point, it's been, Mr. Ashley's organization giving me opportunities. But now what I reflect on most is that it's not enough for just me to have been served by this organization. I and everyone that has been served by this organization have to use Mr. Ashley as our guiding light and to continue forth the work that he's done so we can bring up the next generation. So I thank you. I'm so privileged to have worked with you. I'm so, so blessed to know you. And I just cannot express how much you mean to all of us and how much you mean to all of us. And I just hope in my life that I can make you proud and touch even a quarter of the people that you have. So thank you so much. And I hope you all enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Didn't I tell you she's great? I knew it when I saw her as a little kid, because one of my first encounters with Mr. Ashley, he was so excited. He was wanting to know. There were some bright young students that I could refer to the program. I was working at a different bank at that time. I immediately said, I know one. Totally ignoring my kids. I said, I know one. And I called Lolita, and the rest is history. And we're all so proud of you, Cecily. And it goes without saying, Mr. Ashley, just one of the many examples of the impact that you have on so many young people and the wonderful impact they're going to have on the world. So, Lance, we had the opportunity, everyone couldn't be here, so some people actually took a few moments and then recorded some video messages for you that we're going to go ahead and play now.
Somewhere around the start of my junior year, culminating in an internship after graduation at Vanderbilt, summer of 2013 through the astronaut program. I just recently graduated from Yale University in May, and now I am working in the psychology department doing research. And a lot of that is due to getting some early exposure after graduating from high school. And it was something that I pursued into, well, throughout college, rather. And it's something that is a large part of my life now. And a lot of it is due to Ms. Ashley, so I thank you for that and all that you've done for students around the state who are interested in the state.
Hi, Alex Joe here, Paris, France, sending you greetings and best wishes for this special occasion. I can't think of anyone who's more deserving of a special award than you. I remember all the times when you would help my son and everybody else's son get a job. Thank you so much, Alex. You're such a special person. Many things change, but things that do not change are the special memories we hold of people. And you are one of those wonderful people that I will always remember. My life has changed. I'm here in Paris, France. You're there in Arkansas. You can see that wonderful Eiffel Tower behind me. But as I said, some things never change. The fact that you are very special. You've always been very special, and my husband Paul and I wish you the very, very best on this very special occasion, acknowledging and honoring you. Bye.
Al, congratulations on your recognition.
People are near or far. They are thinking of you, they appreciate you, and we all respect and are very happy to have this opportunity to celebrate and honor you. Up next, Mr. Jonathan Evans flew in from Washington, D.C. to join us today. And a funny little story, this may spark a memory, and I won't give or spill all the tea, as they would say. I hear there was an incident at Sam's a while back where haphazardly you were trying to get together and you ran into the family in Sam's and you saw Jonathan and you kind of latched onto him and you had an opportunity to kind of go through the store. And I learned something. I learned that you like to sample stands where the different snacks and things are throughout the store. And so they went from spot to spot to spot. So y'all thought this was all going to be serious as we're talking about Mr. Ashley, but there is a humorous and funny side to go along with his sincere commitment to helping young people. And so Jonathan will now come and provide a few remarks.
All right, how sweet it is to walk through Sam's and sample all of the wonderful goodies in the restaurant or in the store, as they say. Again, my name is Jonathan Evans. I am a risk and reliability analyst at the United States Nuclear Regulatory Commission. I have been there for about 7, maybe 8 years so far. I'm a graduate of South Carolina State University with a degree in nuclear engineering. And I can honestly say that I know that we've considered Mr. Ashley to be a hidden gem, but to me, I consider him to be the catalyst. You know, he was the spark that created the chain reaction of events that occurred in my life. I'll just give you sort of one anecdote and just sort of to point out to you how exactly that is. So, one of my first internships was at the University of Arkansas Medical Sciences. I worked with Dr. I can't remember his first name now, but Dr. Jennings in the physiology department. And one of the most interesting things is when I would walk into the lab every day, I always know that there was this picture of this African-American man on the wall. And so I was like, well, who is that? And he said, well, this is Dr. Phil Rayford. So, I said, okay, well, I don't know who Dr. Rayford is, but he sounds great, and his picture's up here, so he must be somebody important. But fast forward to me graduating from high school. I had the honor of participating in an event called Delta Presents. And when I went in for an interview for Delta Presents, one of the ladies who was interviewing me was Jerry Rayford. And if you can imagine, I received the Dr. Philip Rayford Medical Award for Delta Presents. And just to sort of point out to you, Mr. Ashley introduced me to Dr. Jennings. I received the opportunity to intern with Dr. Jennings, and by there I passed this picture of Dr. Philip Rayford every day. So when I saw Jerry Rayford in the interview room and I said, hey, I've worked with Dr. Jennings over the summer, and she was like, oh, and do you know who Philip Rayford is? Yeah, he's the man in the picture of the lab that I see every single day. So, I mean, just so you can imagine, Mr. Ashley is a catalyst that, you know, led off this chain reaction, which has led to me being in the position I am today. And I thank you, Mr. Ashley, because even where I am right now, that the skills I learned just from you and the opportunities that I had and the ability to network has been an indispensable talent that has been cultivated and developed, and I will let you know that your labor was not in vain. And I really appreciate you, and I thank you, and I just wish you all the best as you continue on doing your work, and I will definitely continue to serve students in the community at large.
Amen.
Wow. Now, I was like, nuclear, what? And I barely got out of chemistry, too. Another tribute that has been provided is from Hank Organ, who retired from the Stanford University Development Office. And it says, Mr. Ashley, as I always address you, it has been an honor to have known and been a friend of yours for almost 5 decades. When we first met and ever since, your dedication to youth of color has been enthusiastic and unwavering. Your intense interest in encouraging them in the sciences began long before STEM became the popular acronym. You had this vision then of the importance of these disciplines, which few people appreciated. And what better place to have this vision than the birthplace and bosom of Silicon Valley? And before that title was even coined. You have many beneficiaries of your imagination and efforts, Al, and I hope your legacy will carry will carry on your legacy. I close by noting another example of Al's vision and brilliance, and that was in meeting and marrying Wanda. Congratulations to both of you, Henry Organ from California. So, like I said, near and far, people appreciate and value all that you have done and will continue to do, because we know you will not stop working. And I heard you were just working on some stuff just in the last couple of weeks, trying to make additional connections. And I know that's one of the things that I appreciate most about you. So many of us have networks, and we don't necessarily deploy them to their maximum benefit to help others, but you most definitely do. Up next, you've heard numerous times since we've been together, UAMS has been mentioned repeatedly. And we would be remiss if we did not include Dr. Billy Thomas from UAMS to also share a few words about Mr. Ashley and AMNA.
So there were people that actually helped to start AMNA, I don't know, 2005, I think it was. So I just want to show a couple of slides. And mostly pictures, because to me, I think, you know, Al came along at a time for us that we actually needed someone like Al. And I think once I go through these slides, and this will take about 5 or 10 minutes, I think you'll understand what I'm saying. In this first slide, that's actually the second annual symposium. The first one I don't even remember, but this is the second one. It was at the Clinton School. And, you know, Al can do more with very little money than I've seen anybody. And so, you know, initially, you know, we didn't have a big budget, but we were able to do some things. And this was thanks to Al, Professor Newcomb, Louisiana. Did some, she was at that symposium, and she did a lot of things with standardized testing. So it was a very well put together symposium, 120 students attended. And this is what I want to make a point of with Al, This was in 2004. Now these numbers you may not be able to see very well, but the main thing is to look at the top number. Those are white students in medical school. You see the big gap in all the other numbers. And we're down here, I think the black students are the hashed black lines, and the Hispanic students are the orange lines, which is hashed also. But you see there's a big, big gap. And so for us in our relationship with Al, it came at a good time. Now those numbers are still very, very separated. There's still a big gap. But Al introduced a new way of approaching student pools, so to speak. So those are numbers that are bad. They're bad across the board, not just Arkansas, everywhere. And this is just a picture of Al. This is a more recent picture. And here, you know, all I'm saying with this is that, you know, he allowed us to expand our base. You know, we were able to attract more high school students, more college students. And he introduced us to multiple partners through the NIH, NSF, and so on, and through a lot of people at Stanford. So he was good for us in that respect. And the summer positions that many of these students have talked about, a lot of those positions we help place them in labs. And it's a good thing for everybody. It's a mutually beneficial partnership. We talked about mentoring, everybody's talked about mentoring. He helped us with that. Now before I really met Al, I knew of mentoring, I knew of networking, but not at the level that Al was working. So he helped me personally move to a different level as far as what I had to offer, what I wanted to offer students. So that's another very positive thing. And he helped us to recognize really the long-term benefits of all these things that he does. And it's not just, as one of the students said, not just me, it's an impact that spreads beyond you and through generations. Because, I mean, I think all we do in STEM is we want to make a healthier population. And if you can have people from our population serving people in our population, that's a better thing, and you get a better outcome. So that's what he's done for us. And besides, he's become a really, really good friend. And again, I think Al does more with the small amounts of money that I've ever seen anybody do. And he, personally, I respect him a great deal, and I admire all the things that he does a great deal. And now I just want to show you a few pictures and make a few comments about the people in the pictures. This is Sylvester Gates, Dr. Gates, and he came and spoke at one of our symposiums. Now, Dr. Gates was at University of Maryland at this time, and he has a distinguished chair at Brown, but his area is like supergravity. He's a physicist. And so it's always amazed me that Al knows all these people. It is. I mean, these are very, very high-level people. And Al is a great guy, but I don't think Al, we've talked about your background, and I don't think Al started out in science. I think he knows science a great deal, but it's just amazing that he's able to make these connections. And this is also Dr. Gates, and I wanted to show this because I wanted to say something about Wanda, who's always been there and always been very supportive and has helped us do everything. So I wanted to make sure I said that. And these are just students that I'll show you some pictures of. This is at Philander. And the thing I wanted to remark about this is that look at the different colors in the audience. This is a very diverse group of students. And it's right down our alley, and it's really what we want to do is that, you know, it's not a black and white world anymore. We know that. And diversity comes in all different shapes, colors, and so on. So for us, it was great to have this type of auditorium filled with these types of students. And there you can see it again. And this, I think, is Dr. Nichols. I think that's who that is. But anyway, I'm not sure who it is. This is Burton Rector. He's at Stanford. And he also is a physicist. And he works on the accelerator at Stanford, if I remember. But anyway, he won a Nobel Prize And this guy came here and he stayed here for 2 or 3 days, all because of that. So, I mean, I've never met a Nobel Prize winner. You know, I haven't. So I think that's an important thing. It's a very good thing for students. And here he is again. And I think this is Dr. Nick is here, getting the Arkansas Travel Award. And this is just Al. And I think the rest of these are just kind of pictures of students meeting one another. And I think I have one of Bill Barton too. This is a group of students that, some of you may be in the audience, but these are familiar faces within this group. And this is Dr. Harris, Bernard Harris. He's an astronaut from, where is he from? Some small town in Texas. I can't remember what town. I'm from this place called Toronto. It's smaller than Toronto. There's like 600 people in my hometown, but he's from a really small place. But anyway, he's an astrophysicist. He's an MD. He has the Bernard Harris Foundation. And actually, he came here twice, I think. Twice. And he's actually the first African American to, I think he went into space and had one of those vehicles that you man in space. But that's just one of his accomplishments. I mean, again, these are very, very accomplished people that somehow Al knows and he's got him to come. And that's Bill. And I called Bill. Bill actually called me, asked me to say hello to you, and he wishes you the best. And I think these are just, and I don't know the speaker here, but we had like, there were, I want to say, 10 or 12 high schools. And he took pictures with all these high schools. And I think these are the last pictures I would want to show. And this is Lisa Academy. I know that because this is the small group from Lisa Academy. And there's various groups like Parkview, Little Rock, Central, North Little Rock, and so on. And I think that's all I wanted to show. And I just wanted to make the point that, you know, Al came at a time that we really needed somebody like Al. He helped us a great deal. You know, I hope that we continue our partnership. And he's always figuring out something, you know, thinking about something. So it's an honor to be here, and I really do appreciate having worked with you the last, I don't know, 10 or 15 years. And I think that's all I need to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Now, a funny story, or something that I learned while having a conversation with Wanda, was that Mr. Ashley loves that Arkansas Travels Award. The only challenge is you can't get them when you're a resident of Arkansas. So we would have had gotten it to you several years ago. But I hope this will be equally as pleasing. We have several presentations for you. The first one, proclamation. Know ye all people by these present greetings. Whereas Al Ashley is a retired staff emeritus in Stanford University and a native of Tuskegee, Alabama, he worked in the Stanford National Accelerator Laboratory for over 31 years. During his tenure at SLAC, Al pioneered programs that promoted diversity and encouraged career development for employees and career exploration for talented students. He is the founder of the SLAC Summer Science Program, now called the Department of Energy Science Undergraduate Laboratory Internship Program. For the past 44 years, Mr. Ashley has worked tirelessly to place thousands of underrepresented minority students in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics summer research programs. In addition, he was responsible for SLAC's charter membership in the National Consortium for Graduate Degrees for Minorities in Science and Engineering. And whereas in 2004, Mr. Ashley founded the Arkansas Mentoring and Networking Association, a nonprofit corporation dedicated to promoting opportunities for historically underrepresented students in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The purpose of AMNA is to educate students about the art of networking, the importance of securing mentor relationships as a natural part of their academic experience, and to inform students about summer intern and research opportunities. The AMNA has placed more than 200 Arkansas high school and college students in paid summer internship positions at universities and national laboratories across the globe. And whereas in 1999, upon Mr. Ashley's retirement from Stanford, Director Burton Richter announced the formation of the Alonzo W. Ashley Career Development Fellowship at Stanford's Linear Accelerator Laboratory. And whereas in 2005, Mr. Ashley was named by President Bush as a recipient of the prestigious Presidential Award for Excellence in Science, Mathematics, and Engineering Mentoring. And whereas in 2011, the Alonzo W. Ashley Internship Program was named in honor of Mr. Ashley, who retired in 1999 after 31 years of dedicated exemplary service, particularly in the area of championing diversity in the sciences and engineering. The Alonzo W. Ashley Internship Program provides interns practical experience in mission-critical fields with the express objective of bridging education and professional work experience for underrepresented groups. The one-year limited-term positions will provide the participant with valuable experience working at a Department of Energy National Laboratory and exposure to world-class science and operations. And whereas Mr. Ashley received a Bachelor of Science degree from Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas, and continued with graduate studies in public administration at California State University, Hayward, California. And whereas Mr. Ashley and his wife, Wanda Bynum Ashley, reside in Little Rock, now therefore I, Mark Stodola, Mayor of the City of Little Rock, announce do hereby proclaim November 25th, 2007 as Al Ashley Day.
I am Secretary Charles Blake, and I have the pleasure to present this citation to you, Mr. Ashley, on behalf of the Arkansas Legislative Black Caucus. And I guess I'll briefly read it. Citation, Alonzo Al Ashley, whereas Alonzo W. Ashley was born and raised in Tuskegee, Alabama, where inventor and scientist Dr. George Washington Carver influenced and inspired him and his classmates at Chambers Children's House, a school owned by the Tuskegee Institute and located on the Institute's campus just 3 blocks from the George Washington Carver Museum. And whereas Alonzo Ashley went on to pioneer programs that promoted diversity, encouraged career development for employees, and the exploration for students at the Stanford Linear Accelerator Center, where he has served as a mentor to hundreds of emerging students, and from where he retired in 1999 after 31 years of championing diversity in science and engineering. And whereas affectionately revered in the STEM arena as one of Arkansas's favorite adopted sons, Al Ashley found the Arkansas Mentoring and Network Association, a nonprofit that's dedicated to promoting internship, mentoring, and networking opportunities to minority students in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, that has placed more than 200 Arkansas high school and college students in paid summer internships, positions at university and national laboratories across the globe. And whereas in 2005, the National Science Foundation awarded Mr. Ashley the Presidential Award for Excellence in Science, Mathematics, Engineering, mentoring and recognition of his outstanding mentoring efforts and programs that enhance the participation of historically underrepresented groups in science, mathematics, and engineering. And whereas Stanford University named the Alonzo W. Ashley Internship Program in honor of Al Ashley in recognition of his exemplary work and service to STEM students, professionals, and fields. And the Arkansas Legislative Black Caucus joins families, friends, students, and STEM, a community to recognize and award Alonzo Ashley on this 25th day of November 2017.
At this time, I'd like to ask a young man who really doesn't need much of an introduction, Mr. Charles Stewart, to please join us on the podium at the stage here. As you know, he's the chair of the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame and an entrepreneur, a businessman, a retired banker, so on and so forth. Charles Stewart.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here on this occasion to honor my friend and mentor, Mr. Al Ashley. As these presentations were being made, these young people started coming up, and these brilliant young people, the thought came to me, the saying that for all we know, the flutter of a butterfly's wing might be the beginning of a hurricane. And just to think about the impact that you are having on these young lives that are going out and doing so many wonderful things that are literally changing the world. What a phenomenal contribution you have made. Many of, and are making. You're not through yet, my brother. What many of you don't know is that many of the people in the STEM field who are in the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame, those nominations came from Al Ashley. Al will send me a note. Did you know that this person is doing this, this, and this? And when he speaks, I listen. And so we have a saying with the Black Hall of Fame that God has planted seeds of genius in all of his children. And sometimes the difference is that catalyst that helps to germinate that seed, that it can grow and we can realize the fullness of the contribution and the genius that he has planted into them. And we just celebrated our 25th anniversary, and we published this book called Seeds of Genius, 25 Years of the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame. And I wanted to present, say, an autographed copy to Mr. Al Ashley, because my brother, you helped to make this possible. And I just want you to know how much we thank you, how important you have been to the state of Arkansas, to the nation, and to the world. Because the foreword in this book is by Dr. Oliver Baker. And many of the people that you have touched are touching the world. And God is not through with you yet. And so we thank you, Wanda, for bringing him to Arkansas, because he could have been anywhere. And so I'd like to present this copy of Seeds of Genius to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I am having a mental vacation, because I have the name of the young man has escaped me. But we thought to ourselves, what do you get or give to an avid collector that he doesn't already have? And we thought, we had a conversation, and the idea came up, wouldn't it be something if Mr. Ashley was on his stamp? Now, no, we did not pull that off in the last couple of months. Let's lower that expectation. U.S. Postal Service, that's a much longer process. But there was a really fine young man artist,
Justin Thompson.
Justin Thompson from Pine Bluff, that created originally for you what a possible stamp could look like with your person. So you never know. We've got the prototype already created for that to happen. So that concludes our official presentations. But once again, remember earlier I talked about how we colluded with someone, and we cannot thank her enough. So Wanda, if you don't mind coming up on stage to join me real quick. I mean, she has been smuggling pictures and articles and everything behind Mr. Ashley's back to get this to us, to make this possible. On behalf of the committee, we just wanted to say thank you and just give you a token of appreciation. Once again, we realize if it had not been for you, we're not sure you would be in Arkansas. So we thank you, and we thank you.
just want to thank you for the lovely flowers. Marty, Cecily, Lolita, Ada, and everyone who had a part in this. Certainly, I appreciate everything you did to honor Al today. I'm so very proud of him. And I just appreciate all the work that went into this.
Mr. Ashley, I hope you realize that there are a lot of people that have you on their mind, and a lot of people that owe you a gratitude of thanks. We hope that you just have a small idea of how much you are appreciated, how many people value you and hold you in such high regard and esteem. Now, if you did not have an opportunity to see the cake before we cut it, it has a wonderful picture of you on it. It's over here on this table in the back, so we definitely want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to enjoy this delicious cake. If you have not had an opportunity to look at some of the pictures at the table, please make sure also that you have signed in, because we want to capture everyone that is here as an ongoing memento of our time together today, just celebrating once again a hidden treasure within our community. We love you, we appreciate you. Thank each and every one of you for coming out and participating in this today, especially on the weekend, during a holiday weekend. But thank you for joining us, and in the words we used to say, you are now dismissed.